Picture this. The Israelites, oppressed by a ruthless king for 18 years, with no hope of escape. They were crushed under the weight of tyranny and cried out to God for deliverance. But their savior wasn't a mighty warrior or a seasoned general. No, God chose an unlikely hero, a left-handed man named Ehud. This is the story of how Ehud, a seemingly ordinary man, rose up to deliver an entire nation in one of the most thrilling stories of the Bible. For 18 long years, the people of Israel were under the rule of King Eglon of Moab. Every year, they were forced to bring him tribute, a painful reminder of their subjugation. But what Eglon didn't know was that this tribute would be his last. Now enters Ehud. He wasn't your typical warrior. The Bible tells us he was left-handed, something rare in those days. Most people expected their opponents to be right-handed, which made Ehud's difference his secret strength. But God had a plan for Ehud that would turn him into one of the most unexpected heroes in Israel's history. It was time to bring tribute to King Eglon, but Ehud didn't come empty-handed. He secretly crafted a small, double-edged dagger. And here's the clever part. He strapped it to his right thigh, the last place anyone would check since they assumed he was right-handed. Eglon was a corpulent king, enjoying the wealth and power that came with his position. As the tribute was delivered, the tension built. Little did Eglon know, his reign was about to end. After the tribute was presented, Ehud dismissed the others and returned to Eglon alone. He told the king, "I have a secret message for you." Intrigued, Eglon sent his servants away, eager to hear what Ehud had to say. The tension was thick in the air. Now it was just the two of them. Ehud stepped closer and said, "This message is from God." And with one swift movement, he drew the dagger he had hidden. Ehud acted swiftly and decisively. His plan had been executed perfectly, and King Eglon's reign came to an abrupt end. Eglon, the powerful king, never saw it coming. Ehud quickly locked the doors behind him and made his escape without raising any suspicion. Meanwhile, Ehud returned safely to the land of Israel. Upon his arrival, he blew a trumpet, signaling the time had come to rise up against the Moabites. With God's help and under Ehud's leadership, the Israelites launched a surprise attack and defeated the Moabite soldiers. The oppression that had weighed them down for 18 years was finally broken, and Israel enjoyed peace for the next 80 years. What makes this story so incredible is how God used someone like Ehud, someone most would have overlooked, to bring freedom to his people. It's a reminder that God doesn't need us to be the strongest or the most talented. He just needs us to be willing. Often, we think our weaknesses make us unfit for a greater purpose, but the story of Ehud teaches us that God can turn our differences into our greatest strengths. Ehud didn't hesitate when God called him to act. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we need to take a bold step of faith, just like he did. It may seem impossible, but with God's help, we can accomplish things that seem out of reach. So, what's your Ehud moment? Where can you rise up, take action, and trust that God will use you just as you are for something extraordinary? Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful Bible stories that hold lessons for our lives today.